Hello everybody. So today we are recreating our photo in Raleigh at the Dorton Arena, and then we are going to go over our top 10 places to visit in Raleigh and things to do.
So see you after this. Hey everyone, Alex here, and Will's finally with me. We're walking around the NC State Fairgrounds today to capture a picture of the Dorton Arena. It's an important piece of architecture in Raleigh, and honestly, this stop is pretty quick. It's not really near anything. Normally there's a farmer's market going on or a lot of different events. I went to a lot of Disney on Ices here when I was little. So today, since this is a quick picture, we thought that we could also walk around NC State's campus in the Hillsborough Street area, especially because the Duke Chapel is in the book, as well as the UNC well. We personally believe that the NC State Bell Tower is more important than those two things, so we wanted to highlight an area that is near and dear to our hearts, and we're excited to take you guys around the Raleigh area today. Let's go. All right, filming. Hi everyone, welcome back. We're excited to share our top 10 Raleigh favorites today because I grew up in the Raleigh area and Will and I both went to NC State. So between us, we have a lot of years and opinions about things to do in Raleigh.
The one we listed first and visited first while we were back was the NC State campus. So one of the biggest things to do and see on the campus is called the Freedom of Expression Tunnel. And it's basically a place where you're free to go and graffiti wherever you want. It keeps the campus clean and it allows people to provide art avenue and to really just kind of put themselves out there. And then once you walk through there, you can continue onwards towards Hillsborough Street and see the bell tower. The bell tower is actually a World War I memorial, and it is a tall structure. I think it's the tallest structure on Hillsborough Street, and it's a great spot for a couple of photos before moving on to one of our second spots on the list, which is Players Retreat.
Yeah. So Players Retreat is an institution for sure. We always would I lived really close to there too, so it was a really easy spot to go for a brewski and some good nachos, I think is what I normally have there. Good brunch, or not brunch, but a lunch spot also in Raleigh. And along with Players Retreat is Will's favorite restaurant down the street a little bit.
Yeah, I love Mitch's Tavern. So Mitch's Tavern is kind of an old wooden-based bar that has a lot of old replicas and interesting decor. They have really good beer specials typically. There's a large menu that's really inexpensive. I think a lot of the sandwiches and pasta dishes are around $7-8. So yeah, you can definitely get away with getting a lunch here with tax tip and drink for probably $15 or less, and it's just a great spot. Last time we were there was closed for COVID temporarily, but I think they're back open now, and it's just an institution that's been there for decades. I think since the 70s or 80s it's been open, so yeah, they're going on about 40-50 years of being open, so definitely give it a look if you're on the Hillsborough Street area, and then from there I think we would push on to our number 3, which is?
Well, right downstairs from Mitch's is Jasmine's, which is my favorite restaurant on Hillsborough Street and the only one that's actually open the day we visited. So we enjoyed a nice chicken sake and it was amazing.
Yeah, Jasmine's is a Mediterranean restaurant if you're not familiar with it. It's so good. It's also inexpensive, kind of like Mitch's Tavern is. It has seating inside, but I think most people get takeaway.
So right next door to Jasmine's is Global Village Coffee, and that's I think more of a student spot. I used to hang out there quite a bit and bring your laptop, order some tea for hours. I would milk one thing of tea for like hours and hours until they would tell me to leave sometimes or order more stuff, and I just get more tea. College budget.
You milk a thing of tea?
It sounds weird to say like I milked a teapot full of tea, but
you nursed it.
I nursed a teapot for hours and hours.
Yeah.
It was weird when I said it. I know. Okay. So you have your coffee at Global Village, and then another honorable mention down the street from all of this at 5 Points is Lily's Pizza, which we believe is the best pizza in Raleigh. Like, everyone else can come at us. I think Lily's is the best. Their Hawaiian Punch pizza is the best. It has mandarin oranges on it. Mm-hmm. Their mushroom one's also really good.
If you're a thin crust pizza person, this isn't for you. It's a very thick dough. That's kind of our opinion. Sorry. But it's delicious. 5 Points in general is a really nice area too if you're just looking to go explore an area of Raleigh for the evening. It's got an old movie theater that shows typically just 1 or 2 movies at a time. It's a small venue. They also have a Mexican restaurant. There's a couple of other little local watering holes and pubs. There's a couple other places to shop as well down there. This area is really growing because it's kind of more upscale now neighborhood to live, and it's a bit older as well. But other than that, I think closer to campus where we would go if we were going to stick around that area, to kind of shift gears back to that, would be the Cameron Village area. Mm-hmm. So Cameron Village is also kind of an upscale neighborhood right next to Cameron Park. Alex actually used to live in this area in an apartment, and it was really, really nice. Definitely miss that neighborhood. But as far as Cameron Village is concerned, they have a lot of shops and boutiques and restaurants. One of my favorite places there is called the Flying Biscuit. We love getting brunch there. It's absolutely our favorite place to get brunch in Raleigh, and I would definitely give it a try if you can. Typically kind of long waits on the weekends if you wait till mid-morning, so get there earlier the better. But their namesake explains that they basically have biscuits and they give you apple butter with it, and it's so good. So would recommend checking out the Flying Biscuit for brunch.
So moving on from Cameron Village, 2 things that I wanted to talk about in terms of like outdoor activities to do in Raleigh. Number 1 would be the art museum. It's beautiful. It went through a renovation like 10 years ago or something, but they have an amazing outdoor sculpture garden that leads into like all these other trails in the Crabtree Valley area. So it's a really good place to bring a picnic or go for a walk, go for a hike, and the museum is free. Moving on down the list, we're going to talk about
7.
beer.
So probably our favorite brew pub is called Lone Rider Brewery. It's a little further out, but they have a really, really nice area to sit, both indoor and outdoor. They have a little brewery tour that you can do as well, but their beer's really, really good. And then besides that, if we shift back to the Raleigh area, we'll go to Cary first. As that's where Alex is from. We have Bond Brothers. This is a very new brew pub, about 2 years old, little micro brewery place, but they have a ton of outdoor seating. A lot of people go there in the evenings, sometimes after run clubs and whatnot, to get a pint. But it's a beautiful little area right in the downtown center of Cary. But as we move closer to Raleigh, that's why you're here, so we have the Raleigh Brewing Company. And that's got some nice indoor space. It's not a huge seating area, but they have multiple dartboards, and they have, I think, maybe a pool table. They also have connected to that a home brewing supply area. So yeah, that's actually where Alex got me my home brewing supplies from. Really great guys in there will help you out, set you up. And then there's some outdoor space as well. It's kind of like in a warehouse. So it's got a little loading dock area where people sit and drink, and sometimes have a food truck that comes there. If you're looking for like a bottle shop, one of the places down the road from there on P Street is called the P Street Market, and it's a really small place, but they jam that place full of beer. It's mostly craft beer, so if you go in there, you can find any type of beer you want from almost all over NC, especially the Raleigh area and central North Carolina, but that's definitely probably our favorite bottle shop.
Yes.
So
moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about the downtown area, which is separated into a bunch of different districts, but one of our favorite ones just to walk around is the historic Oakwood district, and they have some really beautiful houses from the early 1900s. Like if you're an architecture buff, it's a good place to walk around. And also during Christmas, everyone decorates really nicely, and I think they might have like holiday home tours also during that time, so I would check that out. It's right off Person Street, which is really like up and coming. Also, there's been a bunch of new developments around there, so I could recommend there. Next, we have the Glenwood area, which I think like the past couple of years has really, really blown up. I think it's not a secret anymore whatsoever, but Sea Grace is really nice. I think that place is still classy. They usually have live jazz bands or live music, and it's kind of in the basement, right?
Yeah, it's in like down one level from street level, but it's really nice because, as she said, it has like live jazz sometimes on the weekends. It's a cocktail bar, so it's definitely got any type of fancy cocktail you might want. But it's great for a date night, or just something more low key than some of these other bars on on Glenwood Street. But if you're looking for something a little bit more rowdy or out on the town, then you can go to Cornerstone or Milk Bar. Both have a lot more capacity for people, and it's easier place to meet up with some friends if you're looking to go out.
And the Raleigh Beer Garden.
So it just a few years ago broke the Guinness World Record for having the most beers on tap. But the Raleigh Beer Garden is about a 3 or 4 story place, and each level has a really long bar. And at the back of the bar is several taps. I think they had something crazy like 200 beers on tap. But yeah, you just know going there that if you're a beer lover, you're going to find whatever you want. And it being such a tall building, like I said, it has plenty of space for you and your friends to gather in a nice outdoor area that they cultivated and landscaped really well. So it's a different vibe from some of the other ones, but yeah, Glenwood kind of has whatever you want if you're looking to go out on the town and have a nice Friday, Saturday night.
So last on the list, I wanted to talk about First Fridays. They happen the first Friday of every month, and it's when like all the art galleries open in Raleigh, and a lot of them have some special events or will be serving drinks and be open till maybe like 9 or 10 at night, and a lot of times artists are there too. So one of the first places I go on First Fridays is the Warehouse District. That's where the Contemporary Art Museum is, CAM, as well as like a lot of the galleries and things are located down there. The event happens all over Raleigh. Another place to note is Art Space near the Moore Square area. That's a really good place to bring like first timers. I think I brought him there first because they have a lot of wine. They usually have live music, and there's like a ton of little artist studios there. So you can just walk and go through all of them, usually meet the artists, see some of the work, and it's like usually pretty relaxed. It's usually pretty crowded, and they have 1 or 2 special exhibitions every month. So that's a really good place to start, and then really just turn it into a night on the town. I mean, that's what I would do.
So we have a bonus bar for you as well. This is a place not near downtown. It's actually up Western Boulevard a ways, but one of the specialty things that they do is on Sundays, they do $1 mystery beer. So you don't get to choose what the beer is, but they will just give you a random beer. And sometimes it's a Radler, sometimes it is an IPA, sometimes it's a stout, sometimes it's a Bud Light. But it's a really interesting place. They have little arcade games. They have beer pong. Sometimes I've heard that it gets crazy there and there's girls dancing on the bar. But it's a little tiny place that's actually connected to a brunch spot that's run by these old people called Pam's Farmhouse Kitchen or something like that. So it's funny that there's like a brunch spot right next to the late night bar, but I guess that's how you make money is
that's a good business
you
model.
operate off of a borderline 24/7 schedule like that. But that's a good spot too if you're trying to catch up from the night before.
I think it's cash only, right?
Yeah.
It's an establishment.
Yeah.
So you got Goats and then Pam's, and there's something in Raleigh called the trifecta. I don't know who calls it this, but
yeah.
The trifecta. If you go to the Goat and you go to Ugly Monkey and you go to Bison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But none of them are near each other, so I think they're each about 3 or 4 miles apart.
It'd be a long night.
Capitol Boulevard up to Western Boulevard, down to downtown Raleigh. But yeah, so those are a couple more bonus choices for you.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching, and let us know in the comments if you have anywhere else you'd recommend in Raleigh, and we'll be sure to visit there next time we're home.
See you next time.
Bye.